I don't know. It says it's recording. I don't know. Let's try it. So the disc sander's in front of you. Attached. It's on the hinge. And I don't know if the belt's on it. I have these 3D printed pulleys because I did have to get bigger pulleys. This was the original pulley that was on the grinder. And then this was the one that was on the motor. And what was happening was I was having a clearance issue with the stand or the base of the grinder. So what I ended up doing is I 3D printed this one. This was 2 inches. It wasn't wide enough. So I printed. It seems to be working. 2 3-inch pulleys from my favorite place, Amazon. Now, what I have to do is hope we don't lose internet or something, because this is a bomb shelter. It is called the Underground. Now you guys can't see it, but in the upcoming video, I'm going to explain it. Now remember, this is the front. These are parallel, right? Now remember, I keep saying remember, but I keep bringing things up parallel, right? Parallel is this way. Perpendicular is to the table, right? The reason I keep saying that is I said perpendicular and they kept saying parallel. Okay. So this, because these legs are kicked out and they're kicked this direction, right? This leg and this leg is not parallel and it is not perpendicular, right? So, perpendicular, okay? So that being said, this motor mount is twisted this direction. And we can't keep it that way because most likely the belt will derail. If not, it'll wear funny. So what I did was, before I tuned you guys in, I clamped a scale here on the side. I did make it level. And I measured to the back. And I got 5.5 inches. Here, I got 5 3/4. That means that the mount is twisted this way, so we need to twist it. I was going to try to slot these and twist it, but I think what I can do is get away with just putting a washer behind the hinge. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I have some washers here, and I forgot to turn the camera on over there. So, all right, let's do that. Now, normally I have music playing, but I can't do that right now because of copyright. And also, in order to get an accurate measurement, I don't have to do this, but I should mark where this goes. I do have this level. So sometimes I get a little bit anal, but that's the idea, right? So let's just mark it here. That ain't gonna hurt anyone. That'll make it easy to set up again. So I don't know if I said or not, but the pulleys are coming in today. And one of the things is, if you look at it, so you see this shoulder here on this pulley. On the motor, it's not going to be a big deal because you just put it on however you want and you clamp. But on you might be able to see it, but so on the motor here, the pulley actually, this is pretty tight. The pulley actually retains the disc. So see how I can push the disc that way or this way? So up here, I had to flip the pulley around to get it in far enough so I could get it, clearance. If not, if I would have done it like this, it would have been sticking way out here. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm sure of it, when I get the one from Amazon, is I'm going to have to shave this down to where I get it to the point where I need it, and then most likely drill through here with a set screw, which isn't a big deal because that's how most pulleys, I shouldn't say most pulleys are, but that's how these pulleys are. I could make a shim, but that's just extra work. So we're going to see what happens. I have that undone. Now, the thing is, I got to unbolt this and not have it fly apart on me. So really what I should do is I should support it. Where's my other? Where is my other cramp? Okay. This is going to be a pain in the neck with you guys around, but we will do it. Okay. That's what made this whole process, this whole project, a pain in the neck, was trying to hold this motor. This thing's still tight. I know you guys can't see. Now remember, because that's on an angle, it doesn't take much to change that. So what we are going to do real quick, I shouldn't have took that out, is what we are going to do is try to just slide a washer behind here like that. Okay. It's not ideal, but that's what we're going to do. Okay. And then we were just going to snug it down and see how much that changed it. Okay. It didn't change it at all because it just fell. So I might have to put it on. Maybe I'll just, oh, watch your head. Maybe I'll just put it on and be done with it. I'm not going to put the lock washer on. The bad thing is I'm going to have to redo all this stuff here. Now I'm not going to get too deep in the weeds here until I get the actual pulley, but I do want to have an idea of how I'm going to take care of this. You know, it'd be nice if it was just this easy. Dirty. So we're 5/8. Yeah, we didn't go out near enough. So we still need to go out another 1/8, roughly. Yeah, we're 5/8 here. We're obviously still 3/4. Okay. We figure I gained an 1/8, so it just might work. Crazy enough, it just might work. We can get away with 2. All right, we have to go back through this nonsense. Okay. guys have another idea, better idea, shout it out. These Craftsman clamps are great. I've had these forever, for a long, long time. I use them for everything. Surprisingly strong. I'm gonna get my steps in today walking around you guys. Oop. Okay. This is twisted a little bit too. We can try to fix that. Not much, but a little. And you know it's going to be a pain in the neck getting two washers behind here. If this works, I might end up. Huh, didn't fall on the floor. That one didn't either. Huh. Wow, today's my lucky day. Normally I'm crawling around on the floor looking for everything. I'm sure that'll happen soon enough. Okay, there's two. Okay. Let's do the same thing here. New lock washer. I can't believe how lucky I'm getting today. Normally, everything's falling on the ground. I know it's turning. I'm just trying to get it close. I'm not hating this idea. There we go. There went something flying on the ground. Finally. Where's my mark? Way down here. Okay. Let's see, that's 5. All right, so now it's a little bit too much. So we're 5. We're 5 7/8. This is, it's 5 7/8, I bet. It's pretty damn close. Okay. Yeah, we're close. All right. One looks like we were close. All right, so what's it look like? Look better? I think it does look better. Okay. So again, I'm not so sure. I'm not hating that idea. I mean, it's easy. I'm not hating it, to tell you the truth. All right. So now what I need to do, like I said, I think I'm going to stick my head in here. Good this direction. I do have a little bit more wiggle room. I can go that way. Obviously, I could go that way, but we're centered pretty good. It seems like this is centered pretty good. We're still level, but I can't really do that. I mean, that's saying level. So is this level? Oh, look at that. That's level. Okay. All right. So if we put this in here, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I mean, that's pretty damn level there. Plumb. I'm going to say that's plumb. I'm going to say that's plumb crazy. That's where we want it. So what I should do is I'm going to mark this like, okay. So when we get the new one, I have an idea where it needs to be. I will mark that one when I bring it down here, so I have an idea. So that means we're not going to have to slot these anymore because they're maxed out. This thing is sitting where I need it to be. So next we have two things we can do. We're waiting for the pulleys, is we can tear this thing apart and start cleaning everything up because that's going to need done. I could start on that guard also. Well, I say let's tear it apart because I should mark this too. Well, I do have it marked. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there is a scribe mark right here. So it's marked. So I say let's tear this thing apart. Let's get everything cleaned up. Let's smooth some of these edges. Same here, we're going to round these. Let me make a little mark on them. What I'm using is this. I bought a couple of these, and these work pretty good. So just getting an idea. Just an idea of what I need to do so I don't forget. Alright, we need to round them off. I'm going to round these off too. Like, I will do these. And I'll do that. Alright, so I'll just round that off. Let's get this apart. Lower apart here. I see a little problem with that now. I'm not gonna be able to get to those. So let's do this. Let's loosen those backwards up first until I can get to them. Let's just take the hinge off here and be done with it. All right, and then tear off everything else. once I get it down here. I'm going to leave that attached. That's like a safeguard. Sort of, kind of. See if this helps. Might hinder too. I just don't want this thing flying down and hitting me. Stuck in there. That's crazy. Why are they stuck in there? I guess this thing's doing a better job than I thought. Alright. You know, this thing ain't real light either. It's not extremely heavy, but okay. So these bolts, I'm going to have to trim. They're too long. Same with the other ones. I have one over there. It's too short. So I have this marked top, but it doesn't matter because if we put it the wrong way, that was a guillotine. If you put it the wrong way, it won't fit. Nope. There's a nut that's lost forever. Lock washer. Lost that. Make an appearance someday. And it goes without saying, I'm putting everything back together, just so I can find it again. Okay, let's put this thing on the floor, and let's see what we're up against. You know, unfortunately, I didn't turn my GoPro camera on, so that little bit wasn't recorded. Kind of sucks, but all right, let's put this away, and here's the GoPro camera. Let's get that out of the way. All right, pop. Okay, let's bring you down here. This thing is not all that heavy. It's not heavy. All right, so we need to get you down. Hopefully you guys can see. Sorry about the camera work. Hopefully you can see it, but look, so here, this is what I was talking about. See how the pulley retains the shaft and the disc. So I'm not going to bore you with cleaning that up. What I'm going to bore you with is trying to make a guard. So, ideally, I would like to make something nice and rounded and have it go in. But I'm not sure how exactly I'm going to do that. You're getting a shot of the underground, I'm sure of it. Let's get you. Yeah, let's get you down here. How's that? Is that a little bit better? Okay. Okay, people are sending stuff. Hey, thanks. How you guys doing? Thanks for tuning in. So, like I said, I got to figure out something here. I would like to have it nice and rounded. I'm going to make it out of sheet metal. So what I'm thinking, I'm not sure exactly. It's going to have to be two-piece. I'm going to tell you what I would like to do, and I'm probably going to try to do it, is make a template out of wood. And one of the YouTubers did it. I forget who it was. I don't know if it was Pask Makes. I think it was. And what he did was he routed out in a piece of wood the pattern that he wanted. And then it was almost like when you foundry. When you make it like in a foundry, you know, you put your pattern in, you pull the pattern to the pattern, and it worked pretty. Looked like an old school switch. So I was thinking of maybe trying that. That way it could be one piece, right? I could press it. I'd have to make it at least that thick. Width-wise, I'm guessing I'd have to go at least 3, right? 3.5, probably 3. I don't know. Could do it. Something like that. And then I could press it in one piece and then just make some tabs and use self-tappers to hold it in place. So that's all I'm thinking of, unless you guys have a different idea. Because, you know, in order to bend something at a 90 and then bend it around, you'd have to make slots and everything. I do want a guard, just because I think, number one, it would make it look better. I could use this to make a template, get something round, right? Could bend it to this, right? I could do that. Could do something like that, huh? Oh, don't kink it. There you go. Huh? What is that? Well, there you go. That's 30 minutes, and that's all I'm going to go. So, hey guys, thanks for hanging in there. Hope you liked it, and stay tuned for the video. All right, we'll see you guys. Thanks again.